quick beginning here of the Flint Island review. I just wanted to say something I didn't get to say during my 2 Treasure Island things. They were supposed to be one thing, but they, we didn't know how to add it together yet. So, but what I wanted to say was, why I like Long John Silver is because, other than pirates are awesome, and y'all should probably like that too. Long John Silver is disabled, same as me, but he shows that not all disabled people are nice. That's one of the things I can't stand about non-disabled media. When they do have a disabled person, a lot of times we're sweet little angels. I know some downright mean people that were disabled, not naming names, but they weren't all happy. Sometimes having a disability makes you downright bitter, like Long John, and turns you into a monster that slowly invades the ship, like in this book. Yeah, he's able to turn the whole crew. It's really cool. Anyway, I'll get into that more in the actual video, but I'd like you to know why I like Long John Silver so much, not just because he has a disability, although that is refreshing to see, because he's a bad guy, and he's able to take on pirates like you really shouldn't be able to take on. Anyway, enjoy the video. Thank you for watching me geek out about the prequel to Treasure Island. Let me know if you have any interesting books you've been reading in the comments. Hi, we're here today talking about the book Flint's Island, a prequel to one of my favorite books ever, and the only book to ever get 2 major things done here on the channel in the playlist. I might have done a couple others, but that one really sticks out. I am talking, of course, about Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, but this is Flint's Island by Leonard Whibley. Leonard Whibley, as near as I can figure, was a fan. A high-profile fan, but a fan nonetheless. Leonard Whibley, it begins with a note from him. And I related to him because the note says how Treasure Island was the first book he ever read or had read to him. And how I pictured him around my grandfather's age. He died in like 1980, before I was born. He he sounded like a very well-known author, but at the same time, a very not well-known author. I guess I'm trying to say he sounded like one who puts in the effort, like an R.L. Stine. He puts in the effort, but at the same time, he got maybe one hit, and books like this just totally get forgotten. So this is doing a review of this really, really good book. You find out in this book that Mr. Arrow in this book is not it. Mr. Arrow from Treasure Island was actually the second Mr. Arrow. He takes the first Mr. Arrow's name and like they do find treasure, but like there's so little of it. It leads into Treasure Island rather nicely. It doesn't do anything to diminish the legacy of Treasure Island or take away from it in any capacity. Long John Silver is kind of like a monster from a horror movie in this one. That you know that when they save him from the island from being marooned or Shanghai, they're asking for trouble and you're just going no, no, no the whole time. I mean, they introduced new characters like the captain, who I forget his name, but Samuels, Captain Samuels. The whole time I was worried this character was gonna die. He does not. Spoilers. But it by itself sets up a decent world. A world that you could just live in. It doesn't rely too much on the Treasure Island before. Jim Hawkins isn't in it. Ben Gunn does get an honorable mention. Like I said, Long John's in it, but the younger Long John. And you get to see more about him. Just the fact that it sets stuff up the way it does very much appealed to me. Because, well, Flynn was always one of those characters that operated sort of in the enough of the background that it intrigued me. You don't really get to see Flynn here either. By this point, he's already dead. The Hope is crashed. It's implied that Long John Silver is doing all these horrible deeds, but they don't show any of this horrible stuff. Like he killed the first Mr. Arrow, or I believe he killed the first Mr. Arrow. But they don't directly outright say it, which is kind of nice. So, um, and the fact that he takes advantage of the nature of the crew also appeals to me. That Long John himself is a good orator. Just that is the character I remember. Um, Leonard Whibley apologizes for anyone that didn't like what he did to the four characters that are in this book from the original Treasure Island. But I gotta say, I liked what he did with them. It made them more interesting. Um, the new characters were pretty interesting too. The ending was the ending on Audible was interesting because the whole time I felt like an adult reading an adult book, and then all of a sudden you get a free sample like you're 10 years old again reading R.L. Stine before you found out that R.L. Stine might use like ghostwriters or whatever. But it was cool. So, um, I'm still working on my own story. What I'm doing made me think of this. It was very enjoyable. Sorry if I seem a little groggy today. Having kind of an off day. Won't get into it. Yes, I'm wearing the shirt that was for Halloween, but it's made it into my regular rotation. It's kind of cool. Um, oh, and they don't find the treasure, all of it, obviously, because you'd still need to set up Treasure Island. Like I said, I hate to repeat myself, but for the stupid kids in the back, they don't contradict Treasure Island in any way. They just add to it. So that impacts the score. So because they don't find the treasure and it's still left room for other things, that potential sequel, I would give this, and again, scores don't really matter on my channel, a 4.25. Not a perfect 5 because they don't like explain what happens to the rest of the crew. If you read the book and you understand what I just said, I'd love to discuss what you think happened to the rest of the crew in the comments. Please, like, comment. Don't be afraid to chat with me. Shares help. I've been Bob. This is The Other World According to Bob. Till next time. Bob out. Oh, also, Leonard Whibley also did The Mouse That Roars. I might be doing that soon.